some more wet cleaning adventures. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 90 that I've been cleaning, and this is for reference 91. They're about the same level of dirtiness. I'll show you the 91 first. If you look closely, you'll see that it has it's dirty here. I'm gonna get this out of the way. So there's lots of dirt. This is kind of brown stuff on the cover here. This kind of dirt and yuck, and I've dry cleaned both of these already. So this is what they're going to look like after taking, you know, these erasers to them for about 40 minutes. So these erasers here, there's some junk right here, and then what I did was I wet cleaned the back of this right book here, the 90, and it looks better. It's going to look better after pressing, but not great. But this is the amount of material I've pulled out of the back of this book here. I pulled this and this much out of this book here on the back already, and I'll just show you that method just one last time. I know I've shown it before, but I'm gonna do a little bit on the left book, which is Spider-Man 91, and I'll just show you how much we can get off if we do this correctly. Now you got to be careful because you don't want to get the book too wet, but I'm going to go ahead and put the book right here. And I'm gonna, you can see, I'll get a dirty section. In fact, I may mask some of it off so you can see, look at this part here that's got this junk and these crusters here. We'll zoom in a little bit. You can really see how terrible this book is. And then, like I said, I've already gone over it with an eraser a lot of times, but I'll lightly take this cosmetic circle, just kind of rub, and see that I'm not picking up any stuff. I don't see anything here. So then what I'm going to do is take the same circle, dip in a little bit of my solution, which is this one here is called, it's by Stepan, a surfactant company. It's called Bioturge Pass 8S. And so I went ahead and I'll just soak that a little. I'm just going to rub this on this book here lightly, and I'm just going to let it sit. I'm going to soak it for a minute. Nothing's coming up on this pad so far, really. Just the paper will curl, which is normal. I get it nice and damp, and then I'll go over it again in another minute with a dry pad. And this won't remove the gloss from the book, at least it hasn't so far. It needs to be a little bit damp when I'm done. So I'll just let that sit in there for a moment, and you can see that there's not much on this pad. And then I'll take a new dry pad, and I just kind of rub it on this book here like this. And you can start to see like that brown stuff coming off of there already. And just kind of rub it on the whole book. And let me zoom out a little bit so you can see that I'm doing this on the whole thing. And I might have to do this a couple times until the dirt becomes loose. Again, I'm not seeing anything right now, but I'll get some more on here. And the paper's pretty wet. And I'm just gonna go back over again with this dry makeup pad. And I should start picking up some material right about now. You'll start to see it takes a few minutes to loosen it up, but then it's probably about now that I'll start. And you can see here, you can't really see that well, but you can see it's starting to turn kind of dark color on this pad. And then soon I'll have this book a lot cleaner. There's you can start seeing the material. See this? You can see this dark stuff right here coming off of there. That's what I'm getting off the surface. And we'll do it on the front too. While we're here, might as well. I'll just take the front of this book. Lots of schmutz here in this area, especially around Spider-Man. I'm just gonna rub this with some surfactant solution. Got Mary Jane, Gwen, and Harry on the cover. Just gonna rub that on there, and then I'm gonna take the dry pad here again. I'm just gonna wipe that off of that book. Here we go. Let's clean that dirt off of there. It's a lot less effort, I can tell you, than using the eraser anyway. And it takes a lot of the stuff off of even the colored areas without having to rub on it a lot all day. So, and it's really not that dirty, but. Somebody recently asked me about my pressing technique and just how long to leave it soaking or at adiabatic temperature under load to keep the wrinkles out of the paper. And I'll show you, like, so this book here is Amazing Spider-Man number 90. I just pressed it, I wet cleaned it. Incidentally, this is the amount of material that I took out of this book with my soap solution and by wiping it. It was pretty dirty. This is the front and this is the back. This is the amount of dirt I took out of that book with soap and water, my special surfactant. And it looks cleaner, a lot, well, you didn't see it before, it looks a lot cleaner now, and it's flatter. So now it's time to, I pressed it, and so now it's time to do to switch to a new book. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 91 that I've just cleaned. I'll probably have to do this one twice. And it gets wavy, it's been wet, it's still a little bit damp. So I'm gonna press that one in a moment so it'll get its turn. But in the meantime, so that I'm not using up my press at adiabatic conditions, I'll take this guy here, I'm gonna put it just directly with nothing, well, except a Teflon sheet here between it so I don't scratch the cover. I'm gonna put a sheet of aluminum on it. And then the next thing I do is I take a weight, it's 10-pound weight here, and I set it on top, and that's literally all I do. And just wait, I'll just come back and get it tomorrow or the next day. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and after cleaning the Amazing Spider-Man number 91, I just put a board in the middle, and I will do that here in a second so that it's not too flat. Usually it's on page 14 or 15 in these books here. So there's the staple here, looks a little bit, there's a staple, I might bend that back. Looks like it's been pushed out a little bit. And so I will correct it. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And stick this board in here. I've got a piece of sheet metal on the bottom. It's preheated, it's been warmed up, it's hot. And then I'll put this guy here. I'll put a Teflon sheet top. I will, since I just got this cover damp, I'm going to put a Teflon sheet underneath it too, so it doesn't stick to the first page. And then I'll put a different one on top. Then I'll put a magazine board on top of that so that it's oversized and miss. I'll sandwich it down. In this particular book, since it's Silver Age Spider-Man, it'll go to 165 degrees and it will soak there for 10 minutes before I turn it off and go to ambient temperature. The other book's going to stay in there overnight, and I'll pull them out tomorrow. And that's it, thanks. So you can see here on the left, this is where I started. This is after cleaning with an eraser and a sponge, and then the wet cleaning just a couple seconds to get to this point. So this is even before I press it. It looks much better now. Okay, so it's the next day now. We're going to take this weight off our book, and we take off this piece of aluminum that we bought at onlinemetals.com, and now it is nice and flat. You can see that it has been repaired nicely. It is pretty clean on the back, especially compared to what it used to look like, and it works pretty well. And if we look, we rested. The other book has been resting under load in our press, and it also is pretty nice. It went in, of course, soaking wet, and it came out looking pretty good. I'm gonna have to clean this again, so I'll put some more soap solution on to clean it, but it's gonna look okay. And that's it.
Really? That's it? Okay.
That's all you gotta do.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thumbs up.